Keith Medema, Baseball Official of the Year. Keith Medema has enjoyed a long life love affair with the game of baseball, and when his playing days ended, he wanted to stay involved in the game. Mission accomplished, as Keith is now approaching 40 years as an IHSA baseball official. Keith has worked the state finals in baseball in 2009, 2012, and 2015, and he is also part of a select club of officials who have officiated state finals in 3 total sports, as he has refereed 3 girls basketball state finals as well as 2 football title games. As a member of the NASO, Keith is also actively involved in the Rock River and White Pines Officials Associations. The former honored him with its Lifetime Honorary Member Award, while Ambi High School presented Keith with its Dedication Award. Keith is approaching 40 years as a machine operator at Raynor Manufacturing in Dixon, while also approaching 40 years of marriage to his wife Pamela. Keith and Pamela reside in Sterling and have 1 daughter, Jenny, and 1 grandson. Bill Depew, Boys Basketball Official of the Year. Bill Depew is a self declared gym rat. As a teenager, when Saturday open gym games ended, so the youth games could start, Bill stuck around to help out and one day found himself filling in as an official when a ref didn't show up. Bill is still hanging around the gym, including the Peoria Civic Center, where he has officiated the IHSA Boys Basketball State Finals in 2013, 2014, and 2016. He is approaching 25 years as an IHSA basketball official, and while his football crew has also earned a playoff assignment. Bill is a member of the Athletic Officials Service and Suburban Basketball Officials Associations and was selected to work the 2016 IBCA All-Star Game. The Palatine native is the leader recreation supervisor of the village of Glendale Heights, while he and his wife Alyssa have 2 sons, Connor and Cameron. Bob Brendel, Girls Basketball Official of the Year. High school basketball has been an important part of Bob Brendel's life. After playing the game, he coached at various levels, including a 3 year varsity head coaching stint at Steelville, where he won 17 games or more each season. When he moved on from coaching, he decided to put his whistle to use as an IHSA official, where he's been one of the state's best for the past 25 years. Bob was selected to officiate the IHSA Girls Basketball State Finals in 2011 and 2012, being voted Official of the Year by his fellow Southwestern Athletic Officials Association members, remains just as important of an honor to him. He has served as the SAOA as a board member and a treasurer since 2006. He calls Gary Gustafson one of the greatest influences on his officiating career. A native of Troy who now resides in Fairview Heights, Bob works as a VP of Sales and Marketing for LTI Trucking in St. Louis. He and his wife Linda have 2 children, Amy and Andy, who are both teachers, and 1 grandson. Tiffany Michaels, Competitive Cheerleading Official of the Year. Tiffany Michaels was highly successful as a cheerleading coach at Bloomington High School, but decided to step away to spend more time with her quadruplets. However, she greatly missed the sport, and her former athletic director, John Zabo, encouraged her to reconnect with it as an official. The daughter of legendary Eastern Illinois University men's basketball coach Rick Samuels, Tiffany has made an impact of her own in a short amount of time, as she has been selected to work the IHSA cheerleading state finals 3 times in her first 6 seasons as an official, while also being assigned to work sectionals each season. The Bloomington resident now works as a real estate agent and went on her first mission trip to Haiti in September, where she hosted a women's conference. Tiffany and her husband's John's quadruplets, Gavin, Reese, Maggie, and Lauren, are all 9 years old now. With the blessing of her family, the IHSA is privileged to posthumously celebrate the life and legacy of a great friend and official in Paula Hess, the 2017 IHSA Dance Official of the Year. We lost Paula on August 2nd, 2016, after her courageous battle with cancer. She was 43 years old. Her husband, Casey, sons Otto and Nelson, along with her friends, were her greatest passion in life. But the sport of dance was not far behind. Paula was a beautiful person inside and out, and her selfless spirit made her beloved in the dance and officiating community. Paula's knowledge and expertise were heavily relied upon when the idea of an IHSA Dance State Series was conceived in 2012. Paula was incredibly proud of how the tournament evolved in such a short amount of time. Paula received numerous sectional assignments, was a clinic speaker, advisory committee member, and state final tournament manager in 2012 and 2013. We thank Paula's family for allowing us to recognize all that she put into and gave back to the sport of dance. She positively impacted thousands of athletes, coaches, and officials during her time with us, and while her contributions live on, we miss her every day. John Betteridge, Cross Country Official of the Year. Former high school cross country coach Joe Newton is one of the most legendary coaches not only in Illinois but in the country. So when he moved in next door to John Betteridge, it's no surprise that John found himself drawn to running. John began volunteering at cross country and track meets before Newton pulled him in deeper in 1981 by making him a starter at the meet at moment's notice. The role stuck, and John is now one of the most decorated cross country officials in the state. He was the boys' 3A starter at the state meet in 2010, assistant meet referee in 2015, and enjoyed an amazing 2016 that saw him serve as the head meet referee 6 times before serving in that role at the state finals. A member of the Illinois Track and Cross Country Officials Association, John is equally acclaimed as a track and field official and has worked at the state meet in some capacity every year since 2006. A resident of Elmhurst, John works as the Director of Quality Assurance at Millennium Information Systems, and he and his wife Virginia have 3 children, Jennifer, Carolyn, Christopher, as well as 5 grandchildren. Kevin McMurray, Football Official of the Year. Officiating is pretty simple for Kevin McMurray. A friend who was an official asked him if he'd like to give it a try. He enjoyed it and still does it 42 years later, which is why you can continue to find him on the gridiron on Fridays in the fall, in addition to officiating baseball and swimming and diving. Kevin's crews have been assigned to work over 80 football playoff games, in addition to state championship games in 2000, 2001, 2005, and 2015. He has also umpired state baseball 4 times and officiated numerous swimming sectionals. Kevin is proud to represent the Chicago Catholic umpires, Joliet officials, the South Suburban officials, and the Illinois Swimming Officials Association, as well as to be honored here today alongside longtime friend and fellow award winner Keith Jacoby. Kevin is now retired as a teacher and a coach at Andrew High School. He and his wife Carol have 3 sons, Casey, Ryan, and Matt, who is currently the head wrestling coach at Argo, in addition to 4 grandchildren. Scott Hagel, Boys Gymnastics Official of the Year. Scott Hagel says he was inspired by his high school coach, Doug Farrick, to become a boys gymnastics judge and coach. Farrick believed that judging was the best way to stay on top of the rules and help coaches put together efficient routines. While it has undoubtedly helped his coaching, Scott says the camaraderie in the gymnastics judging community is what has kept him coming back for nearly 20 years. Scott has been selected to judge numerous IHSA sectionals in his career, as well as the state final meet on 4 separate occasions. He has also served a term on the IHSA Advisory Committee, as well as working as a floor director at the girls' state meet. Hagel is now a teacher and the head boys gymnastics coach at his alma mater, where he was inspired by Farrick, Palatine High School, and he resides in Wakanda. He and his wife Jamie have 2 children, Addison and Callie. Carol Myers, Girls Gymnastics Official of the Year. Carol Myers says it was both her duty and her honor to give back to the sport of gymnastics as an official. Carol became a judge in 2013 following a 35-year coaching career at Deerfield and Lake Forest that included a litany of accolades and a pair of state final trophies. Carol's transition from coach to judge has gone smoothly, as the Illinois High School Coaches Association Hall of Fame member has earned her peers' respect as a judge, just as she had previously done so as a coach. That respect has been earned through her preparation, as she often combs through old video to score routines and attends meets she isn't assigned to work so she can practice scoring and learn from other judges or take video for review and education. Now retired from teaching and coaching, Carol resides in Lake Forest with her husband Thomas, a former high school coach. She stays involved with education by volunteering at the Beacon Place in Waukegan, where she helps students with their homework. Carol and Thomas have 2 children, Travis and Britton. John Martelin, Boys Soccer Official of the Year. When John Martelin's teenage dream of playing professional soccer didn't pan out, he initially walked away from the game. But after missing it greatly, he returned 5 years later as an official, and now says the experience of giving back to the game has been equally rewarding. John has also been rewarded with numerous state series assignments for his officiating excellence, including 7 sectionals and working the state finals in 2010, 2012, 2014, and 2016. He has also worked the girls' state championship on several occasions. John is a member of the Greater Chicago chapter and Rockford Area Soccer Officials Associations, and he has previously been honored by the IHSA as the Girls Soccer Official of the Year, making him one in a handful of officials who have received the accolade twice. John has a 23-year-old son, Cody. John is expecting his first grandchild in November. He has worked for the United Postal Service for nearly 30 years, including the past 23 in his hometown of Rockford. Richard Giotti, Girls Soccer Official of the Year. While working for the Wheeling Park District in 1995, Richard Giotti worked as an official in a variety of different sports. But when it came to officiating soccer, he found more than a part-time job. He found a calling. Richard has now been an IHSA soccer official for 21 seasons and was selected to officiate the girls' soccer state finals in 2008 and in 2009. In 2016, he transitioned into the coordinator of officials role, overseeing all the state final officials during the tournament, a role which he continued to serve in again this year. A member of the Chicago Soccer Referee Club and the National Intercollegiate Soccer Officials Association, Richard was the Boys Soccer Official of the Year in 2011 and has worked the Boys State Tournament 6 times in his career. Richard and his wife Dina have 4 children, Juliana, Liliana, Gianna, and Giovanna. The family resides in Arlington Heights, and Richard has worked as a physical education teacher in the Indian Grove School District for over 20 years. Ricky Howarth, Girls Softball Official of the Year. Ricky Hauer started coaching his daughter's softball team when she was 9 years old and realized there would be a void in his springs when she entered high school. He decided to fill the void with officiating, and IHSA member schools have reaped the rewards. Ricky admits that when he began officiating softball in 2002, reaching a sectional was his goal, but he soon found himself at the super sectional level and went beyond in 2015 when he was selected to umpire the IHSA state finals. A member of the White Pines Officials Association, Ricky is also actively involved with Pecatonica High School, where he serves as a PA announcer or official scorer for a variety of sports. Ricky and his wife Deborah reside in Pecatonica, while Ricky works for CNC Machinist for Schaefer Gear in Roscoe. They have a son Eric and a daughter Amy, and their third grandchild will turn 1 year old this month. John Mulsoff, Boys Swimming and Diving Official of the Year. John Mulsoff says he wasn't a good spectator. Watching his daughters compete in swim meets from the stands was too hard, so he decided to volunteer as an official. That act blossomed into over 30 years officiating swimming, including the past 16 for the IHSA. In that time, John served as the meet referee in IHSA sectional meets and was handed the responsibility of serving as the meet referee at the boys' state final meet in 2014. John is a member of the Illinois Swimming Officials Association and was selected as the organization's chairman in 1998. He has also resided as a meet referee over the past 5 NCAA Division III national championships. John is retired after spending 33 years working as a global director for Temple Steel Company in Chicago. He resides in Huntley with his wife Kathleen, and they enjoy spending time with their 3 grandchildren, Jennifer, Kimberly, Kenneth, and their 4 grandsons. Bob Graff, Girls Swimming and Diving Official of the Year. Bob Graff comes from a football officiating family. His dad reffed the game at the high school and collegiate level, while his uncle Fritz Graff officiated for 23 years in the NFL, including working the famed Ice Bowl and 4 Super Bowls. Bob followed in their footsteps and has spent the past 4 decades reffing the game. But when his children began swimming and Pekin High School added a pool, that's where he found his officiating passion and went beyond the gridiron. A member of the Illinois Swim Officials Association and Peoria Officials Associations, Bob has worked numerous IHSA swimming sectionals for both the girls and boys meets throughout his career, while also working multiple football playoff games. Bob is employed as an attorney for the USA Treasury Department and resides in Pekin. When he and his wife Patience aren't traveling, hiking, or fishing, they enjoy family get togethers with their 3 children, Laura, Julie, and Nick, and 5 grandchildren. Keith Jacoby, Boys Track and Field Official of the Year. After helping Eastern Illinois University to the 1974 College Division NCAA Track and Field National Championship, Keith Jacoby moved to Naperville, where he met North Central College coach Al Karras. Al asked him to serve as a starter at a few meets for him, and he enjoyed the experience so much he decided to immerse himself. In over 30 years as an IHSA track official, Keith has served as a starter, assistant starter, and referee on numerous occasions for both the IHSA boys and girls sectionals. In addition, he has started the DuPage Valley Girls Conference meet for 26 straight years. Keith is semi-retired from his career selling automation and electrical supplies. He resides in Batavia and frequents Indianapolis, where his daughter Claire is a senior at Butler University. Keith is honored to accept this award tonight alongside fellow honoree Kevin McMurray, whom has been his friend since he was 5 years old. Donald Hackler, Girls Track and Field Official of the Year. Donald Hackler began officiating IHSA football in 1980 and had no plans of adding other sports until a fellow official, Bob Rice, convinced him to get involved with track and field. Rice's persistence has benefited track and field in the state, as Donald has gone on to officiate the Spring Spectacular in a variety of roles. His assignments for track and field also include the boys' state meet referee, assistant starter, and Class 3A starter this past spring. Donald is now a three-sport official, having added cross country to his resume, and is a member of the Illinois Track and Cross Country Officials Association, as well as the Eastern Illinois and Champaign Football Officials Associations. Donald and his wife Lisa reside in Ridge Farm and have two daughters, Jill and Molly, as well as five grandchildren. Donald is retired after teaching junior high math and high school physical education and driver's education in the Georgetown Ridge Farm School District for 35 years. Stanley Wiedemann, Boys Volleyball Official of the Year. Living in rural Missouri as a pastor in the 1980s, Stanley Wiedemann needed a way to supplement his income and turned to volleyball officiating. Stan found that he had a passion and a skill for it and continued to officiate until he moved to Chicago in 1999. It was at that point he decided to hang up his whistle, but he found that he missed the atmosphere and returned in 2006. Stan loved the training and mentoring he received in Illinois and quickly established himself as a top official, working boys sectionals in 2011 before working as a line judge at the state finals in 2013 and then as a referee in 2016. Stan is a member of the Zebras of Northern Illinois, where he serves as a treasurer and has represented the Officials Association in over 20 boys and girls volleyball state series assignments at the sectional level or beyond. Stan works as a paraprofessional in the math department at Niles West High School and resides with his wife Debbie in Morton Grove. They have 7 children: Karis, Zachariah, Cal, Deka, Sabraya, Caitlin, and Adriel, as well as 12 grandchildren and counting. Ruth Holliday, Girls Volleyball Official of the Year. In the 1970s, Ruth Holliday's uncle was working as a high school athletic director and alerted her to the need for more volleyball officials. Ruth and her husband answered his call and became IHSA officials in 1978. Now, nearly 40 years later, she's still impacting the game as one of the state's best girls volleyball officials. Ruth worked the state finals as a floor official in 2015 and has also been selected as a state line judge on 2 other occasions. The Vandalia native is a member of the SIBOA Officials Association and is also active in officiating volleyball for USA Volleyball. An avid St. Louis Cardinals fan, Ruth is the owner of Holidays Quilts and More in Ramsey and has 5 children: Erica, Adam, Rachel, Jake, and Andy Beth, as well as 8 grandchildren. Patrick Bauer, Water Polo Official of the Year. Water polo is a part of Patrick Bauer's life. He played the game for 20 years and then coached for another 15 seasons. When those chapters ended, he wanted to remain involved with the game and became an IHSA official in 2003. Patrick has been assigned a sectional every season but one since becoming an IHSA official and has been selected to work the state finals 6 times. All told, Patrick has now been involved with the game of water polo for over a half a century and in 2011 was awarded with the Mike Murphy Award to recognize his officiating excellence. Patrick and his wife Mary have 3 children, Brian, Jonathan, and Margaret, and reside in Chicago. Patrick works as the Chief Information Officer at Harper College in Palatine and can be found coaching or gardening in his free time. Roy Snyder, Wrestling Official of the Year. Some 30 years ago, Roy Snyder and his wife Kathy were walking past a local high school football game on a Friday night when Roy said that he wished he could be involved in the game somehow. Kathy suggested he try officiating, and he hasn't looked back since. Roy started with football, but has since added wrestling, baseball, and softball to his officiating repertoire. He has worked the state finals in 3 of the sports, including over 50 state series wrestling assignments, and as well as over 15 state final wrestling assignments. Roy is a member of the IWCOA, the IWOA, White Pines, and Black Hawk Officials Associations and has been named the IWCOA's Official of the Year, while also being inducted to the organization's Hall of Fame in 2014. Roy works as a safety manager for Vactor Manufacturing in Streator. He and Kathy reside in Rochelle and have 2 sons, Brian and Nick, who both achieved all-state status as football players at Oregon High School.